Welcome to Freeze Dry Friday. My name is Kelly. You're at a Better Choice Homestead. Today I am going to be doing grapes. I've got my trays pre-frozen, and you can see I am using the trays that I got from freezedryingsupplies.com that stack nicely together in the freezer. So I have four trays of sliced grapes. I've got them cut just in half with the cut side up. I don't really think that matters. The moisture will still come out even if they're cut side down. And this was 4 bags of grapes. They weren't hugely filled bags, but it was 4 bags nonetheless. What's special about these is that they are cotton candy grapes, which are really delicious. They taste like cotton candy. And once these guys are freeze dried, the flavor is going to intensify because all the moisture will be taken out of these and they're just going to explode with flavor. So these are a treat. When I get these out of the freeze dryer, these will be packaged and probably put into my dessert pile or my sweets pile because they taste like candy, but they're fruit. So we're going to get these over into the freeze dryer and we're going to see how long these take. I have done these for the last 2 years in the summer, and these just became available again in the grocery store. I shop at Wegmans, which is a local grocery store to me. It's a chain store, but it's family owned and it's regional. And I'm sure you can get cotton candy grapes elsewhere, but if you have a freeze dryer or you know somebody with a freeze dryer and you can get your hand on cotton candy grapes, you have got to give this a try. So let's move these over and get them into the freeze dryer. The freeze dryer has already gone through its 15-minute cool down, so I can just slide the trays right in and get going. Nice full tray. It's about 1 bag of grapes. Another bag of grapes, again, just cut in half. Next, I have to close the drain valve. And then just push continue on the machine. It's going to go through the freezing process. That won't take too long because these are pre-frozen, probably 3, maybe 4 hours. This will move on to the next phase. And I'm going to guess 30 to 35, maybe around 33 hours until these are ready. And I'll bring you back as soon as they are. 27 hours later, well, 27 hours and 4 minutes later, we have freeze-dried grapes. So I'm going to open that drain valve. And that depressurizes the machine. And I definitely need to clean this machine. I can see a lot of particles on the inside of the door now. The ice buildup is not too bad at all. And here we have some amazing food. It is sticky because of the high sugar content, but these are an incredible treat. They are just a burst of flavor in your mouth. So let's get these bagged up. All right, here we have our 4 trays of delicious cotton candy grapes. So grapes are a healthy food. They are high in sugar content, but they are a healthy food. They contain 6% of the daily recommended value of potassium, which can lower your blood pressure by dilating your veins and arteries. They also contain an antioxidant called resveratrol, and resveratrol helps to lower your overall cholesterol, as well as protect your retina cells against harmful ultraviolet light. So it decreases your risk for macular degeneration, for glaucoma, for cataracts. So grapes are really good for eye health as well. They contain some other antioxidants such as anthocyanins, quercetin, and some others. And they help protect you against heart disease and cancer. Grapes have also been shown to help improve memory. So I should definitely be eating more grapes, and just improve your brain function overall. So grapes are a good food to have on hand as part of your everyday diet. I really control the amount of sugar that I take given my history with cancer. So these are not an everyday food for me, but they are an every once in a while treat. But given that they're not an everyday food for me, I am going to be putting these into longer term storage, and I can get into the bag now and then if I want a little treat. But let's get these bagged up. So I am just going to be using my bench scraper to kind of lift them off of the trays because they are a little bit sticky. And I'm going to be very careful not to drop any of these on the floor because grapes are toxic to dogs. And you've probably noticed I have a lot of dogs running around. So, and two of them are special needs, high health problem dogs. So I will not spill any of these on the ground. So I'm going slow to be extra careful, but they don't believe me. So two of them, one right here, are at my feet, just waiting for something to fall. Not gonna happen with grapes. My hands are clean, but again, I cleaned them before I pulled these out of the freeze dryer to make sure that they were thoroughly dry before I touch the food, because any liquid is going to start to rehydrate these. Now you could rehydrate these if you wanted to. You could stick them in water. Because they have a skin on them, they would take a little bit longer to rehydrate, but I don't rehydrate the grapes. I just eat them like this. And it is a way better choice, That's what my channel is all about. A better choice than candy for kids. And usually it's the kids who end up taking all the grapes. But I'm just not going to tell anybody I did this. So I can have some in my pantry for me for later. All right, now that those are all loose and mostly separated, all I'm going to do is take a 1 gallon Mylar bag, open it up, and I don't need a funnel or anything like that to get these into the bags. I can just slide the tray right inside the bag, tip it up, go, and then just lift this off. A couple still stuck on the sides. Empty tray and grapes in bag. I think I can probably get all of these into one bag. The other thing you'll notice with freeze-dried food versus dehydrated food is that for the most part, grapes are a little different, but for the most part, it maintains its size and shape because it's not being heat processed. So it's not damaging the cellular structure of the food, which is why you can rehydrate food and it gets back into the state that it was before you freeze dried it. Whereas if you dehydrate something, it uses heat, which collapses the cells, and you'll never get it back to the state that it was before you processed it. But it also means when you freeze dry something versus can it or dehydrate it, that you're maintaining more of the nutrients. So I think you lose maybe 2% of nutrients when you freeze dry food. It's about 2. Whereas if you are dehydrating something, you're losing more like 15 or 20% of the nutrients. And then if you're canning something, you're losing more, 30 or 40% of the nutrients. So the healthiest way to preserve food for your overall nutrition is to freeze dry it. I think we can get that last tray in here. There we go. That is a pretty full bag, a 1 gallon bag. It's up to here. So we have just a little bit of room at the top. It's fine, perfectly fine like this. And when I do open this up, I can break it down into smaller bags if we're not gonna eat it all. I can't imagine eating 4 bags of grapes at one time. But I don't know when I'll want these. So we're just gonna seal them up and get them into the pantry. So I'm gonna put, oh, those are the wrong oxygen absorbers. These are the small ones. These are the 50 cc oxygen absorbers for a quart size bag. So let me run and grab the other ones. All right, this is the right size. I can't remember if these are 200 or 300 cc's. I think it's 200 cc's. So I just need to pull one of these out and close the lid so that these stay viable. And I know that this is still good because it is very pliable. If this had already soaked up oxygen, it would be as hard as a rock. So we're just gonna put that in. I'm gonna zipper seal it, pressing out as much air as I can, but that oxygen absorber will get the rest of it out. And then I'm just gonna mark it here at the top, freeze-dried or FD, cotton candy grapes. And label it 4 for April of 2024. And then I'll bring my heat sealer over. And I'm going to seal this above the tear notches. So there's the zipper. And then right above that, there's little notches in the sides of these bags. And that's where you would tear it open. So you want to heat seal it above those notches. And that would allow you to, once you tear it open, you could still use the zipper to seal it and then reheat seal it above that as well. So let's get that sealed. This only takes a second. I'm just lining it up so that the notches are towards me and not on the seal plate. And that way I know I'm sealing above the notches. This little red light's gonna go on. And that one went off. As soon as it's off, we're done. So now we have 1 gallon of secret cotton candy grapes ready to go into the pantry. All right, there you have it. We have a gallon of freeze-dried grapes, and that couldn't have been easier. That took no time at all. The only time it did take was getting the grapes cut. So 4 bags of grapes probably took me 20, 25 minutes to cut and to put onto trays. So couldn't be easier. If you have a freeze dryer or you know somebody with a freeze dryer, get some grapes done. But if you can find cotton candy grapes, get those done because they're amazing. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Freeze Dry Friday. You're at ABC Homestead. My name is Kelly, and I do hope that you come back and visit again soon.